All right, gang, you know what? We brought back Lamp yesterday, but I'm having issues with this freaking green screen stuff, so I'm gonna figure this out. But I'll tell you what, it's no freaking coincidence that we brought back Lamp in yesterday's video, and it tracked not only pretty much to a T what I anticipated would happen, but got that nice freaking decent 6% day, 10% freaking high. Decent. Let's freaking go, baby. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Trey's Trades. We freaking talk fast and don't skip class. I'm gonna preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor or expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Let's get into the video. So today, my friends, my family, my fellow girl again, we've got another freaking exciting video to talk about here. We had a decent day, right? It was an up 6% sort of day, tracking pretty well so far. Keyword being so far, right? I can't guarantee the future by any means, but tracking what I thought would come to fruition with the recent price action and technical breakout potential coming here within the next week or 2 weeks. I do stand by that statement. I do think you are watching for that same level, about that $48.50 level, but we're gonna go over a couple different things here, right? We're gonna go over the Ortex data to show you a small difference in the short interest change that has happened here over the last 24 hours. I'd show you the short sale volume percentage website, but they're actually not updating their information right now. I don't freaking know what that's about, but it is what it is. We're gonna have to, skim past that and just get back into the technical analysis and walk through what I think could potentially happen in the next couple of days here. But before we get into that, guys, I'm very excited about putting out a new video here. It's going to come out either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, and it's going to be about supply and demand-based technical analysis. And I actually use this now. I've been implementing it. I back-tested it on a few different stocks to get an idea of what this actually does. And using this in AMC in and of itself is actually a beautiful thing to be able to do because it helps you predict these sort of moves that could potentially happen. So if you want to see that video, it is going to be coming out here, like I said, sometime at the end of the week. It's just going to be about supply and demand-based technical analysis. And I think you're actually going to like it a lot because I use it, and I have used it for the last couple of days here to make some predictions in terms of what actually might come to fruition, which is important, especially if you're playing the derivatives market. So, let's just get into this bad boy. Start off here with the Ortex data. You know how it freaking goes. So we saw a slight change here, up 0.29%, total short interest change, 17.29% of the actual free float. And the free float, if you're new to the channel, if you're new to AMC Stock, is essentially just the shares that are tradable to the general public. It's just over 500 million shares, which brings you 17.29% of that, about 88 million total shares currently shorted into the market based on 85% of the exchange reported data. Cost to borrow, no significant difference. Utilization, really no significant difference. I'm going to pull up the utilization here just so that you can see it. Slightly dropped about 0.02% literally, so nothing to write home about, but the same thesis stays as it was before. We want to see that go back up to 100% and trend in the right direction as it has been for the last couple of weeks. Shorts still haven't covered their positions, right? There's nothing new to say about what is happening there. Now, I do think something really important to talk about is the momentum behind the stock. Now, I could go on and on and on about the actual data here, but there's nothing significant to talk about, right? Nothing's really changed here in the last 48 hours, 72 hours, whatever it be, last couple of trading days. It's stayed pretty decently consistent. And when I say momentum matters, it fucking matters. And you have it here, right? Now, I know there was some dark days. You had some tough times from $72 down here to about $29. I felt it down on my freaking bones, guys. Trust me, I put myself out there every single day to be able to try and give you information on what's happening. And it's hard to come out here and tell people who are bullish on a stock who want it to go up that you think it's going to go down short term, right? But I do think it's going to go up here in the short term as we get closer to that $72 level. Now, this is actually something pretty fascinating to take a look at. So let me show you this really quick. If you were to stretch out this trend line right here, right? What do you see actually happening here on these daily candles? You see that we get a wave of price action, and it usually comes back to some sort of bottoming out upside level of support. Now, it bounces back and forth between these levels. What you can see here is that before this major run up that we got back here up to $25, $20.36 in the regular market hours, right? We went through this wave, huge pump up, valleyed out, little small pump, valleyed out, huge pump up, valleyed out. This is very Tesla-esque. And what I mean by that is if you actually look at the Tesla price action, the daily candles, what do you see happen? Very, very, very similar moves. Has nice, huge, big freaking rips to the upside. Bam, dips back. And that's a pretty long freaking period of time to have just straight red. I mean, think about that. That's almost a month period of time where Tesla was just red every single day. And then it went on and on and on. And it's continued to grow. Tesla was an ever-growing short squeeze. It continued to squeeze up throughout literally over a year. And this isn't even taking into consideration the actual stock split itself. Right? So what do you see happening here that's very similar with AMC? It goes through waves, momentum waves, where you see the momentum come back, the buying pressure come back, the 80% of the apes out there looking for specific price points to drive it up, they come back. The algorithms, the high frequency traders, the freaking the hedge funds, the 20 other percent that own this stock, they come back. It is a literal freaking momentum riding wave. And you can see that, right? It's a rip, a dip, a rip, a dip, a rip, a dip, and it is doing it over and over and over and over again. And we're in a fucking rip phase, guys. This is momentum. This is something to get excited about. This is sort of stuff that you want to be there to watch. And you should be, that's what you're looking at, right? And that's why I said that I think you have that $28 bottom out being where you see AMC drop the lowest it's going to get for the time being. That's a beautiful thing. I stand by the technical analysis that I'd given out here yesterday. I think you're going to watch that 4 test trend come to fruition again. You're currently on an uptrend and you're currently back to testing out that $48 level. And I do think it is going to reject off that $48 level a third time before it gets the break the fourth time. And you'll know for a fact that it won't get that fourth test because this is what's going to happen. This parabolic freaking move in this sort of demand zone right here, where typically price would get pushed down to the downside, rejected, it'll just have a parabolic move to the upside. Very, very similar. The volume will spike. You're going to have call options that start to run in the money. You get some gamma squeezing. That is going to happen if and when you break that $48 and $50 level, right, before that fourth test. That's how you're going to know. You won't have to debate it. You won't have to even think about it. A false breakout will not even be a question, an inkling of a doubt in your mind, because it's just going to have that much freaking momentum. So those are the two things that I see happening, right? I think it's going to come up and retest that $48, $50 level. I can't tell you if it's tomorrow or 2 days from now, but I do think it's coming in the very near, short, microscopic term. I think it's going to reject. I think it's going to retrace a little bit and continue on this overall upside level of support. So that would bring your retracement back down here to, if it was to happen within 2 days, $42.70. So don't be shocked. Don't be scared by that. I know that the millions of apes out there who are diamond balling over in the stock, they're not. Oh, Jesus. You can tell I choked on my spit. I'm saying it, dude. Oh, I tried playing it off. I tried being cool, but I can't be cool wearing these freaking glasses. But anyways, I know you guys aren't worried about that, right? The people who are diamond handing this thing, quote unquote, know the stock price is psychological, and you cannot forget that. I think the most important thing that I can part away from you right now, right? Outside of technical analysis, outside of the things you already know, outside of the regular everyday updates, is the conviction behind the trade. You got into this trade. If you picked AMC stock, it's not because you're a trader. It's not because you're trying to day trade this thing. It's not because of XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. Maybe there's a 1% out there, 5%. We'll even be generous, 10%. But 90% of people out there that buy the stock have a reason for it. And you cannot forget that reason because it brought you here. You cannot forget the reason that brings you anywhere you go in life. I remember why I got in, right? I was freaking swing trading this stock back in January and I got liquidated. My freaking, at the time, that was almost all the money I had got took from me, man. And it was tough. And I was angry. I was angry at the freaking nonsense that takes place on a day-to-day basis in the stock market just in front of the human eye that's been ignored forever and ever and ever and ever. And I want to be able to speak out against that. That's what this freaking thing is about, right? Don't forget that. That's what it is for me. Make sure you have your conviction. And when you have tough days, man, come back to that conviction. Green days, red days, blue eggs, green eggs, whatever, man. Just don't forget, right? That's what's the most important here. Now, it's entirely different from being financially responsible, making sure you're eating, make sure you're taking care of your family. If the fundamentals of why you got in the trade change, that's a whole different story. But as long as you're taking care of, my friends, you know what the game is. You know what the game is. It's that freaking simple. So all that I ask is you have a plan, you have everything mapped out, you know what you're doing with your stock, you know your price points that you want to buy, that you want to sell. Have a plan. Remember your why, remember your conviction. And that's what I've got for this video. So blah, blah, blah. I know spill drop like catch you on the next one. Light taps always, baby. Much love and peace.